and welcome to News 1. My name is Jessica, and I'll be your reporter for tonight. This evening, we'll be focusing on a highly relevant topic in today's society, Canadian media. Did you know that on average, Canadians 18 years and older watch 27 hours of television a week? I had no idea the media was that large of an influence in Canada, but it makes sense. Without media, we would have a very difficult time finding out about current events, both locally and globally. I don't know about you, but almost every morning I make myself a good cup of joe and turn on my local morning news to better inform myself of what's going on. Speaking of which, it would be best if I briefly identified Canada's major media companies so that we can get a better idea of how influential these companies are. With the size of Canada, I had imagined that we had quite a few large corporations running our media, but I was surprised by how few actually controlled the entire country's source of information. There is a total of 5 large companies that each hold a multitude of diverse media outlets. The largest of the 5 is Corus, who not only owns 39 radio stations, 45 specialty television services, and a book publishing company, but also recently became the owners of Shaw Communications. Close behind is Bell Media, who runs a television broadcasting, radio company, a digital media, and an internet provider. Next on the list is Rogers Media, who operates Canada's largest publishing company, Rogers Publishing Limited, on top of 52 radio stations and television services. The last two, Newcap and Québécois, are 2 more regional providers. The latter is solely focused in Quebec, as it runs all its numerous programs in French, while the former is a massive radio station company in Nova Scotia. All of these media giants help inform Canadians each and every day. Wow, that's a lot about media. Now let's turn to our local political science major, Lisa, for some insight on how these media moguls are influenced by Canada's current political ideologies. Lisa? Yes, hello. My name is Lisa, and I have a strong passion for the poli-sci field, with a focus on theory. Theories have shaped so many aspects of our lives, just like how they have shaped our media. To help guide me on understanding this, I pulled up some readings on neoliberalism, the ideology that I believe is what has shaped our current government's society and media. From this article by Olson and Peters, at the economic level, neoliberalism is linked to globalization, especially as it relates to the freedom of commerce or to the freedom of trade. Connecting this to the Spencer and Lang's article that explains neoliberalism as liberal in the lack of state control and reliance on the market and price. Wow. Neo in suffering was now accepted as the inevitable result of reform and efficiency discipline of the market. With these in mind, I understand that neoliberalism is an ideology that is greatly shaped by outside economic forces, such as market price and globalization, and thus value privatization and corporation over public welfare states. This political ideology has intervened with media because of the close work it does with our government. As mentioned in an interview with Henry Giraud, media companies work closely with government to provide information to the public, sometimes with a close agenda in mind. In regards to the economy, media has become highly privatized. As mentioned above, these companies own a multitude of services in hopes of monopolizing the market. They work with the market price in mind already, and therefore media companies' mindsets already align well with neoliberalism. After that very informative session, let's turn to our resident analysis, Carrie. She's our go-to gal in comparing anything. Carrie, what's the news in our Canadian media in relation to democracy and adult education? 2 very important aspects to our society. Yes, hello, I'm Carrie, and I love to compare everything from different shoes to food, to in this case media and how it affects different aspects of society. Today I thought it would be relevant to talk about the influence media has on democracy and on adult education, because these are 2 aspects that I hold near and dear to my heart. We learn a lot from media. It provides us with all our information from the day and thus is quite influential. What's important to remember about media, which relates to what was mentioned by Lisa about neoliberalism, is that often they have the economy in mind. Individuals do need to be wary with where they get their information, as it could be backed by some influential economic measures. This then could shift our values if we believe everything we see on the media. This message relates well to democracy, as mentioned in the Henry Giraud video, Democracy is supposed to prevent power from falling into the hands of minorities, and instead in the hands of all. Democracy should thus allow viewers to trust their media as they should be expressing themselves without a dramatic influence. Yet, this is seen on a daily basis. I urge you all to make sure that you double-check facts that you're unsure of before, as you never know. On the flip side, media provides us so much intel and thus can help support your values. If you feel strongly about a certain topic, and then you hear about it on the radio, it will resonate with you. For example, one aspect of society that has been hit hard by neoliberalism policies is education, specifically adult learning. As mentioned in Spencer and Lang's article, neoliberal policy and funding agendas has eclipsed the liberal humanistic commitments among adult education. Adult education has seen a massive decrease in funding due to the neoliberal ideas of privatization and reducing the welfare state in order to reduce a country's debt. This is heartbreaking news and thus should be portrayed more on the news. Say this is a topic that is important to you. You can reach out to your local newspaper or news or radio to see if they'd be willing to do a story on this. It is important that you let your voice be heard, and media can be your partner in making sure your goals are reached. Well said, Carrie. Thank you for tuning in tonight to News One. I hope you learn more about Canadian media and their influences. Until next time, good night.